Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Danny Gonzalez. The guy that we're sitting down with today, you guys are really going to love him. Some people call him one of the best skateboarders of all time, an East Coast legend, two-time Battle at the Barracks champion. He's filmed countless video parts and skated for the biggest companies, traveled the world. He's a video game character. He was in PJ Ladd's Wonderful Horrible Life, and it is regarded as one of the best video parts ever. He's a legend. Welcome, PJ.
Hey, thanks, Danny. Thanks for that intro, brother.
Yeah, no worries. For the folks that are watching right now, where's your home these days? And what have you been up to lately?
I live in Los Angeles, and at least most of the time, if I'm not traveling. And life's been good. How you been, Danny? How's Texas treating you?
It's good. The weather's good. It's not too hot. I can't complain. It'd be better if you were here skating with me.
That sounds good. That'd be sick. Originally from that zone?
Yep. I'm from San Antonio. I grew up with Forrest Kirby. You might have heard of him.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of skaters from Texas. Where's Anthony Correa from originally? Is he Texas?
He is. I want to say he's from Houston.
Houston, yeah.
Yeah.
And Kalis, he was Dallas?
Either Dallas or Houston, and then obviously went to the East Coast.
Yeah. I feel like Dallas and Houston have a lot of skate names. Where's Southside Skate Park from? Was that San Antonio or Houston or Dallas? They have Make-A-Wishes there.
Yeah. That's in
right?
Houston. Yeah, I skated there once. Your boy Jeremy Rogers was skating there, and he was crushing it.
He can skate.
Dude, he did everything first try, and I was totally blown away. So it was pretty amazing.
Was that Chapman days? Chappie made good boards.
Yeah, I've been talking to Greg, actually. Really nice to just have that connection, you know what I mean? Hey, do you have any Jeremy Rogers stories or skating with him when you were a kid or anything? You still keep in touch with him?
Yeah, I still talk to him.
All right.
It hasn't changed a bit. It's just such a character, says what he wants and does what he wants and just does him. Yeah. You gotta respect that. So I just remember skating. There was an indoor skate park in the Boston area called 8 Ball. You know, those are long winters over there, so anything goes, and there whatever you can do to kind of skate through the winter. But I would go there like once in a while, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks or something like this. That was where Jeremy grew up skating, and he was always just ripping. Him and Mike Graham, I don't know if you know that name. Jeremy he's always, like you were saying earlier, he's always been good.
Yeah, I talk to him every now and then.
We wish you would skate more.
Yeah, at all the times I talk to him, I never really ask him about that. I never ask him like, hey, I talk to him about other things. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what that is, but we end up talking for a while, but I like his vibe and his attitude, and like you said, he's a free spirit and he just kind of does whatever he wants, I'd like to know, what's the main difference between the PJ from the 2001, 2002 era to the PJ of today?
I wouldn't say that there's much of a difference in the core characteristics of me as a person, but yeah. I think progress and evolution is a good thing, and hopefully I've gotten better on my skateboard and as a person.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say back in the day, I met you one time.
Where did we meet for the first time?
I was in my car, and I was on, I think I was
in... Was it Barrett? Was it LA? I remember skating.
Yeah, we skated there, but it was in Venice, and you were by the beach, and I saw you, and I rolled my window down, and I said, hey, PJ, and you just had the deer in the headlights look. And I was just like, hey, man, it's really nice to meet you. We should go skate sometime. And you're just all like, yeah. And that was it. And then I just drove off.
That's fine. That's sick.
Yeah.
So we met before the barracks. That's good.
Yeah, we skated at the barracks. And then I think I met you another time at on Melrose. There used to be a ramp at that one skate shop. And
Brooklyn Project. It's still there.
I just know when you busted out on the scene, it must have been overwhelming to have that attention and getting it from all kinds of areas. And I was just kind of curious how you coped with that early on to overcome that,
But I wrote for Element too for a long time there, so it wasn't quite the overnight blowing up as everybody thinks. There was a lot of time there.
Yeah. Well, I remember my brother told me about the Coliseum video part, and I gave it a watch, and I was completely enamored with it, and I feel like everyone else at that time was too. And I just remember after that, you started getting these really, like, it seemed like larger sponsors, and then you were traveling more, and there was more weight to what you were doing. And then, so it just seemed at the time like a real massive shift, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it seemed to kind of take that shift. But no, there was an evolution to it.
Some
I
of
went
you,
on trips as a kid and skating with Reese and Donnie and Kenny Hughes and being the young guy, just being respectful, knowing my spot over there in Boston, and it was cool.
hey, so out of curiosity, your current sponsors right now, it's Plan B,
No, not right now. Free man.
and
But
what about Bones?
Bones, Rob Washburn, yeah. Those are the wheels I'm skating right now. Yeah.
I think you said you were gonna send me some bearings.
I gotta make a note of it. If I make a note of it, I'll do it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
So
kidding.
I must have not made a note of it.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. And then I know that you parted ways with New Balance, but are you skating? What shoes are you skating today?
Shoot, I've been skating all sorts of random shoes, but a lot of S. Kelly sent me a box that I liked, so I've been skating those.
Yep, shout out Kelly. Yeah, I remember when Guy Mariano had his mouse video part, and like it seemed like every clip he had a different pair of shoes on, and I was like, that's the freedom of not being tied down to a sponsor, is that you can just kind of try everything and see what feels good, you know?
Yeah, that was one of the coolest things about that part.
Yeah. And I did have a question about when you first got on Flip, like who called you and what was that conversation like? Was it Jeff Rowley? Was it like who, like, was it from a skateboarder? Was it, you know, do you remember like what it was like to have that conversation when you first got on Flip?
Well, I think Element had sold to Billabong around the same time, and a lot of the older guys like Donnie and, older than me just a bit, that I looked up to, they were kind of moving on, and so that's when maybe the idea to skate for somebody else kind of came into, or seed was planted there. But the dudes at the skate shop were really into Flip, so I remember that. I think that's how it started.
But do you remember the call, like getting off the phone and being like, oh shit, like this is gonna go down, or I'm gonna be on the team with these guys? Or
it wasn't that epic. I probably talked to Ian, Ian Deacon or Jeremy Fox, one of those guys for sure. I actually remember talking to Jeremy back in the day. Those were cool conversations, but it wasn't like an initial sort of epic that you might think. But it was a cool. It seemed somewhat
organic and natural, and it kind of just
from
happened.
the skate shop bros. They definitely. That's how it seems. Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about Flip, can you share a Tom Penny memory or of skating with him, or hanging out with him, or meeting him?
Tom's the man. He's the real deal. Everything that's been, everybody says about him, or all the old footage, that's how he was living. And, obviously looked up to him a lot growing up, and it was cool to become friends. But the first time that I had met him, I was just talking to P-Rod about this actually last week, because we met him for the first time together in Germany on an S trip. And he had been pretty low key up until that point. That was his first sort of start to kind of reemerge, and for a while there, we were both kind of tripping, fanning out, and yeah, it was cool. Then we like went on a lot of trips and skated a lot together after that. But the first time was cool.
I mean, did you just try and like have normal conversations with him, and if you did, like what was that like, or you kind of stayed clear and just gave him space?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of communication's not necessarily verbal too,
Yeah.
So we just hung out, skated on that trip. That was cool. And then there were Flip trips and more S trips after that. So
yeah, I've never met him personally. I've loved obviously all the videos that he's in, and it's probably best that I haven't met him in person, because I think I would be annoying, just like asking him so many questions and trying to get to know him.
I don't think he would be annoyed. He would love to hang out and talk, obviously.
Yeah. So Nadas Kappas or Mark Gonzalez?
Ooh, man, that is a tough one. Those are like right before my time.
Pat Duffy or Sean Sheffy?
Oh, dang. Those are quite the polar opposites in some ways.
They were both on Plan B, though.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Did you ride for Ghetto Child Wheels with Sean Sheffy?
I did, yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Chad Muska wanted me to skate, or asked me if I would be interested in skating for shorties, but at the time I was on Chapman, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So then he's like, all right, well, Ghetto Child. I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
that was a dope team. A lot of good, unique individuals.
Yeah, Muska, Sheffy, Sanchez, Tom Penny, I think Braden Turner. And then I was on there for a short little bit as well. And then obviously they brought it back. T-Puds is doing it.
That's rad.
Yeah.
It's a weird childhood memory of riding Ghetto Child Wheels. I had some sets of them.
Yeah. I had some other names. Rick Howard or Mike Carroll.
Oof. Mike and Rick.
They're like equal.
They're almost like one person at this moment, huh? At this time.
What about Guy Mariano, Eric Costin?
Ooh, that's a good crew right there. LA.
Yeah.
LA. Yep.
All right. Well, we have some other ones. Matt Reason or Fred Gall?
Wow. I never met Matt Reason. He was somebody I always felt like I wanted to meet.
Yeah.
Just a pure indigo soul. You could see that whenever you see photos of him, there's just a certain beam coming through for sure. Did you ever hang out or skate with Matt Reason?
No, I only saw the videos, and when I heard kind of what he was going through, it broke my heart because very inspirational on the board,
Yeah.
And I love Fred Gall too. When he first busted out on the scene, I really loved the whole East Coast, group of people that came out of there. Tim O'Connor, Ricky Oyola, Forbes. And I was just a huge fan of Dan Wolf,
Yeah, those Eastern Exposure videos are kind of definitely shaped a lot of skating when I watched those so much as a kid.
Yeah.
And it felt kind of relatable, because it was spots that I would skate in Boston, or I would go down to Philly. This probably was after sort of the Ricky and the Matt Reason days. What's the name of that skate shop they ran down there? They had the really good videos. Not Sabotage, but Sub-Zero, my bad.
Oh, yeah. Sub-Zero, yeah. That's huge.
I would take the train down to Philly. I never went to New York, but I would go to Philadelphia, Skate Love Park. But this was more like the Kalis and Stevie days. But never skated with Matt Reason. But yeah, Freddie has a big influence on the East Coast, like the Wennings and stuff. That was their dude.
Yeah. I did meet Harold Hunter a few times before, rest in peace, but before he passed away,
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you got the connection.
Yeah.
The memories and experience.
Yeah, he was always really happy, positive, big energy, always down to do something, and I don't know where he got that from. I was always kind of in the beginning a real introvert, and I just wanted to stay in my room and maybe just go skate and then go back home.
Yeah, the focus.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I wanted to ask you, what are some of your favorite skate videos?
All time?
I don't know, just ones that you appreciate, you like, and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, those, like we said, those Eastern Exposure videos were huge.
Yeah.
Plan B, Secondhand Smoke. I think I watched that twice a day for a whole summer. Jeremy Ray. Trilogy with LeVar. The LeVar parts were stoked. Everybody. Ronnie Krieger, Kareem, Gino, Bill, all those guys.
Yeah.
And a random shutout. You remember that video, Troubleshooters? It was Steve Celentani. I believe they were all from Wisconsin. Emmers and these guys came out to San Diego and had sort of a unique style of skating. I think they were the first ones to do they just really ran the smaller type, back tail, backside flip, flip in, back tail, kickflip, back tail, kickflip out, this type of stuff. But I remember getting that video and it got me really stoked because it was the dead of winter on the East Coast, and I was just skating in this empty warehouse, this sort of gritty, pretty cold. So that was shout out to that one as a random asterisk.
Yeah. What about video parts?
You'd feel it, dude. You'd feel it.
All right. Any standout video parts that you just really loved?
Well, Guy, we said, and Mouse, Eric and Mouse, obviously, part of growing up. Donnie, the Toy Machine videos. Shoot, man, there's a lot, right? Carol, Modus. What did you watch growing up to kind of get sparked on all the unique tricks and all like the where you were coming from with things and unique approach?
Well, I started in '88, so I started from the beginning, right? So I watched a lot of freestyle, like Rodney Mullen, Per Willender, Kevin Harris, and
Love
then,
that.
huh?
Love that.
Yeah, and I freestyled like kind of the first year I skateboarded, and then it switched over to Tommy Guerrero, and then it went to Nadas, and then the innovation that he brought to the game in terms of spinning on the fire hydrant. And then obviously all the videos that you're talking about, I really watched a lot. And I was a huge John Montesi fan, Jeremy Ray fan, Chris Markovich fan. I really love people who went big.
Yeah.
But then I
Jonathan
also,
Marketing.
yeah, but then I also loved technical ability. I love the Toy Machine video. I watched that so many times. And then I love Tom Penny a lot, like just seeing the 411 video clips of Penny. And then obviously your video part was just like, I've seen your video part a lot of times. You know, when it comes to your video part, some of the lines that you did when you're doing like the 540 flips and then you're hitting the ledges against the wall in Boston. I don't know if that's a bank, but you got to get out of it. I was pretty impressed with the fact that you were either like doing half cab crook and coming out the hard way, but not allowing your tail to hit the wall. I'm still perplexed, but I was just how is he doing that? And my favorite part in your video is the very end is when you push and it pauses and your elbows like this and you got that push. I tell people this about skating with you at the barracks, but I remember it was you and Eric showed up. I couldn't believe it was you. You were rolling around, going slow in the park, and I was kind of checking you out, but I was trying to skate a little bit. And then all of a sudden, like, something clicked in you, and it looked like you gave it just a little bit more effort, and I saw the push come out. Just a little bit. And then you did like 2-3 tricks in a row that was really just blown away by, and one I'd never seen. And then I just thought to myself, God, he's that good. Like, he's not even really trying, and he's like that good. But I remember you did a salad grind on the box, going slower than anyone I've ever seen, and you just held it. And I was like, wow, I've never seen anyone just hold it going going that slow. And then you did like a push, and then you did a nollie 180 switch feeble grind across the whole flat bar to 180 out. And I swear, like, my eyes just popped out of my head. And I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Damn it. I was like, wow. And then when you left, guess what trick I was trying? That one. I was like, I had to learn it. So yeah, I was pretty hyped, dude.
Those were good skate sessions at the barracks.
We loved watching you on there, though, man. Some of those battles that you had were just so great. It's like, get the popcorn out and let's just watch this thing, you know. And I just love the way you do your freaking tricks, dude. And the battles that you and P-Rod had, it was just like, God. But anyway, super cool. So when PJ Ladd is trying to learn a new trick, how long does it really take you to land something? Is it fairly quickly, or do you have to come back another day, or?
Well, you love when you land quick, you know. If we talk about learning tricks, you love when it comes quick, right?
Yeah. But what about you?
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that comes in my head and then like it's new and I do it quick, that's fucking great. But if it's something I kind of am gotten into a battle with, I just make sure that I go through the battle.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much the only thing I've been doing differently is I'll actually just stick with it longer.
Okay.
You know, filming tricks is same but kind of different. But yeah.
I notice, like, I have this attitude. If I don't get it in a certain amount of time, I tend to want to just stop. And it's usually the filmer that's like, no, you got to keep going. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. I just want to stop. I'm like, I'm done.
Pick your battles wisely, I say, you know?
Yeah.
But if you got the hype man, that's always to have a good crew and have friends skating and push each other and want you to succeed. That's what, you know, we want everybody and all of us to succeed. So that's good.
What about the girls skateboarding? Have you been seeing any of the girls kind of in competition, or have you seen anything of the kind of what they've been doing?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the skate park too, every day. Well, I'm not surprised, but I do, and I love it. I think it's great. I think the women's sort of activation and empowerment in this new time and space on the earth is, it's a matriarchal time. It's not a patriarchal time. And women, WOAMAN, contains MAN. So the women are kind of the creative force on the planet. So it's cool to see them ripping around and supporting each other and creating communities and doing cool things. I love it.
When we seeing you on the 9 Club?
Yeah, I get that one a lot.
Yeah, you must, huh?
I'm not opposed to it. We'll see. Yeah, when was the opinion video, that Globe video? What year was that?
It was 2001.
How was that filming for that?
Well, a little insider story on that. I was filming with this guy named Mike for the Globe opinion part, but he works for Logic. But if you look at my Logic part and you take that footage, and if you were to do a full edit with my opinion part, that would be my Globe part, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, I appreciate you asking that.
For sure, man. Yeah, I wanted to ask, what about Stereo? You wrote for Stereo, right? Those were like kind of its like most epic days in a lot of ways. When you think back on it, it was like, I want to say Tin Can Folklore and all that. Maybe after that, before that, around that time, maybe.
Yeah. So Deluxe came through San Antonio and they saw me skate, and I don't think they realized that I'd fly out to San Francisco, but I think they were nice, like, yeah, come on out to San Francisco. So I did, right? And when I did too, I think like Mickey at the time, the team manager, was just like, I can't believe you came here. Like, I don't even know what to do with you. So then he hooked me up with Theo Hand. So I stayed with Theo for 2 weeks. And then the last week that I was there, I shot some photos with Gabe Morford. And so after that 3 weeks, I flew home and they were like, hey, we're going to put you on the team as an amateur. And that was in 1997. But during the Stereo days, I skated with Chris Pastras a lot, Johnny Fonseca, Matt Rodriguez.
A lot of skating in at that time.
Yeah. San Francisco was really cool at that time. I skated a lot with Jaya Bondaroff, Kit Erickson, Hansi Driscoll, Justin Strubing. I met Phil Schau a couple times. Brent Ashley, I think, for a minute was on Stereo for a quick second when he was a little kid. You've heard of Stephen Colbert, right? The Colbert Show?
Oh, mainstream media. I have heard of him.
So he does these things where he called the Stephen Colbert questionnaire. It's a way to get intimate with your guests and get familiar with them. I'm going to ask you the same questions. Are you ready?
Let's go.
It's going down. What's the best sandwich?
Ooh, vegetarian.
Okay. All right. What's one thing you own that you really should throw out?
What do you think? What's your answer to that question?
One thing I own I should really throw out?
Yeah.
Probably the soda that I drink.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
What is the scariest animal?
I'm not really scared of animals, but everybody always says the black bear, right? But you want to know that the moose is actually more, in terms of like...
There you go. All right, apples or oranges?
Both.
Both, okay. Have you ever asked anyone for their autograph?
Not that I can remember.
Oh, come on. You asked somebody for an autograph. Never. All right. What do you think happens when we die?
Oh, well, you're a spiritual being having a human experience, so you've lived, at least 8.4 million lifetimes. Hopefully you can get off the planet and not recycle back, or if you make that choice, then you're probably a teacher of some sort, but...
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, and then 2 more. But favorite action movie?
Gosh, I haven't watched a movie in a long time.
Yeah. Do you watch television?
Not normal TV, but,
What do you do? You read...
Especially these days, man. It's like fucking crazy, right?
But what do you do to... What do you do to relax? Do you read books? You just want a nice meal, some tea, sit,
Shoot, I've always been a reader.
Okay.
Last action movie. No, I can't think. Can't think of right off the top of my head.
All right, last question here. Favorite smell?
Favorite smell? Sandalwood, probably.
Hey, that's not bad. You can get sandalwood candles, soap. You want to know mine?
Good. Yes, sir.
The firewood, when it's like around Christmas time and people are burning firewood in the chimneys and it has that burning smell in the air.
Yeah, it's pretty grounding. I like that.
I love that. My wife likes the smell right before it rains.
Yeah. So petrichor, I think it's called.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, there's a word for it, but yeah, I know what she's talking about.
Okay.
It's good.
I appreciate you, taking the time to have this conversation with me and talk, because I know it's rare to have you get on camera and talk and answer questions and things of that nature. So I just really appreciate your time,
Of course, anytime, Danny. Yeah, thanks for hanging.
Let me just say, hey, thanks everyone, and thanks for tuning in. This is PJ Ladd. I'm Danny. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.